What's up, everybody? You're back in here with the Pro Football Pod. You've got Hulk, Coach, Austin. We appreciate y'all sticking in with us today. We got the Kansas City Chiefs. We need to change this background because we've got the Kansas City Chiefs record prediction episode. We did the Chargers earlier, so go back and check out that one. There we go. We got it fixed. All right. Hey, if you haven't already, subscribe down below because every 500 subscribers, we're giving away a free jersey to one of you lucky viewers. Help us, help you. We appreciate you. The Chiefs are basically the same team, essentially, because, you know, they've still got their main core pieces. But let's just go ahead and run through it real quick. Longtime veteran guard Joe Thuney got traded to the Bears. Love that move for the Bears. Kind of sucks for the Chiefs. They also lost safety Justin Reed, defensive tackle Treshaun Wharton, defensive lineman Derek Nottie. DeAndre Hopkins left, but, you know, he's towards the end of his career. They also lost Mecole Hardman. They brought in Jalen Moore at offensive tackle, Elijah Mitchell at running back to add some, you know, a little bit of explosiveness in the backfield. We've seen what he's been able to do with San Francisco if he can stay healthy. Christian Fulton at corner, Jerry Tillery at defensive tackle, Gardner Minshew coming in as backup quarterback for him. They kept Trey Smith, Nick Bolton, Kareem Hunt, Charlie Omenihu in-house to keep that core intact. In the draft, they were able to bring in Josh Simmons in the first round, which if he can stay healthy, might very well be one of the biggest steals of the entire draft. He probably would have been the number one offensive tackle taken if his injury history just wasn't a complete mystery to everybody. But the Chiefs felt good enough about it to take him. They also took Omar Norton-Lott, the defensive tackle at Tennessee. Love that move for him. They also brought in Ashton Gelati, defensive end from Louisville in round 3. I like the pickup of Noah Williams, the corner from Cal in round 3 as well. How Jalen Royals fell to them in round 4 at wide receiver is beyond me. Also, Brashard Smith, Austin, I know you love him, the running back out of SMU. Andy Reid being able to get Brashard Smith should be blasphemy, but
that's literally a Chiefs weapon, like if I've ever seen one.
That just screams like Andy Treese late round stunner, and he's just going to drop the hammer on everybody. So overall, I like what the Chiefs did as far as just trying to retool and keep the ship moving along. Let's go ahead and dive into it a little bit here with the roster prediction. Week 1, they're on at
record.
Well, it says at home, they're on the road, whatever. Their neutral site in Brazil, they're playing the Chargers. Week 2, they're at home versus Philly. Week 3, they're on the road versus the New York Giants. Week 4, they're at home versus Baltimore. I've got them going 3-1 in that stretch, with their one loss being to Philly.
Oh. So you got them beating Baltimore.
Oh, actually, no. Sorry. I had the Chiefs beating Philly in our Eagles episode. I have them losing to Baltimore.
Agreed.
So let me
exact same statement. I had them beating Philly. I think that Philly, you know, after the way that they walked them through the Super Bowl, that they're going to show up ready to play in Kansas
Week
City.
2, fully healthy at home. You've got a huge, just awful taste in your mouth because of this team, and they smacked you in the Super Bowl. If you come out and get smacked again, you might as well hang it up.
But Baltimore, I feel like, is one of those rosters that is just so well put together. They don't have a lot of weapons, but they don't need them.
They have the ultimate weapon.
Yeah, Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson.
Did you know, and I never realized this, I saw it on Twitter a couple days ago, Lamar Jackson only has like 200 less career rushing yards than Christian McCaffrey?
Yes.
That's insane.
That's insane.
Nuts.
So I think
absolutely nuts.
Baltimore pulls out the victory there. Giants, Chargers, Philly, I think all fall to Andy Reid and Mahomes. I think. Do we know if Rashee Rice is going to be back healthy by week 1?
Healthy, I don't know. Possible suspension still coming down the pipe because they put that on hold because he got injured.
No, I'm pretty sure everyone forgot about that.
So it was like, we're not going to suspend an injured player because he's going to be out already. What good does that do? So honestly, I have no idea what Rashee Rice's life is looking like as far as a Kansas City Chief next year. For all we know, he'll be available.
2-2, losing to the Eagles and Baltimore.
Okay.
They got to get right.
Moving on, next section of games, we've got week 5 at the Jacksonville Jaguars, week 6 at home versus the Detroit Lions, week 7 at home versus the Las Vegas Raiders, week 8 at home versus the Washington Commanders. I've got them going 3-1 in that stretch, with their loss being to the Commanders at home on Monday Night Football.
This motherfucker.
I kind of wanted to have them beating Detroit, and the more I went back and forth about it,
I think with
City,
Detroit losing a lot of their offensive line, it being in Kansas City, and the
Sunday
Chiefs
night,
defense with Steve Spagnuolo is just clicking the last couple years on Sunday Night Football, I couldn't give that win to Detroit. My brain couldn't do it.
The only issue for the Chiefs in that game is that Patrick Mahomes' dick is going to be wet from Chris Collinsworth, just slobbering all over it the whole time. But other than that, like, there's literally everything is going for them to win that game.
Well then, 3-1.
Okay.
But you losing to Detroit.
Detroit.
Yeah, figures. That tracks.
Motor City, baby.
That
tracks. All right. Week 9, they're on the road versus Buffalo. Week 10, they get their bye week. Week 11, they're on the road versus Denver. Week 12, they're at home versus Indy. Week 13, Thanksgiving game at Dallas. I've got them going 2-2 in that stretch. I have them losing to Buffalo and Dallas on Thanksgiving. I think Dallas at home on Thanksgiving, that's one to where I don't necessarily expect Dallas to win, but everything encompassing with that game, I'm giving the edge to Dallas. But yeah, that one was tricky for me. But I definitely think they beat the Colts, for sure. And I think they're going to beat Buffalo. So yeah, I think at Denver, at Dallas, that's when they take their L's.
Well, that's interesting. That is very interesting. You think they lose to Denver, but they can beat Buffalo. You think Buffalo loses to Denver?
That's a really good question.
Based off your math, it's what's mathing for me.
I mean, yeah, that's like NFL Twitter math. Like, oh, well, the Saints beat the Jets, who beat the Chargers, who beat the Chiefs, who beat the Philadelphia Eagles. So the Saints could be Super Bowl champions. Like,
how about you just answer the fucking question?
Do I think Denver would beat Buffalo? If it was in Denver, yes. If it was at Buffalo, no.
Okay, so whoever's home field
Kansas City in that aspect, though, it's not necessarily that's one of those, like, Kansas you throw City the history.
Buffalo every time they play.
They just own them.
I feel that. I think this is where we get that.
So that's one of those, like, big
Buffalo's
brother games.
Really...
Like, I'll pick Buffalo if they start to show me that they can actually finish a game versus the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Last season should have shown you, like, I mean, they're a different team, a different breed of a team. They're that top dog now. So.
Yeah, was Buffalo in the Super Bowl or was it Kansas City?
Was it just a game or touchdown?
All right.
I mean,
so. Yeah, I've got them going 2-2 in that stretch. What do you got them?
I have them going 3-1. I have them losing to Denver, at Denver. I think that makes the difference for me. I think that it's going to be a close game between the two of them. Their rosters are very similar. I honestly think that the Denver roster is built to beat Kansas City more than anything else. And adding RJ Harvey and just like kind of like what they're doing there now, the weapons that they've added, I think Denver is going to be a difficult team to try to knock down. And in Denver, Mile High, I think that they can win, even though it's after the bye week.
Yep.
I got a 2-2 beating or losing to the Cowboys and
Buffalo.
The Bills. Buffalo.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Last set of games. Week 14, they're at home versus Houston. Week 15, they're at home versus the Chargers. Week 16, they're on the road versus Tennessee. Week 17, they're at home versus Denver. Week 18, they're on the road versus Vegas. I've got them finishing strong at 4-1, with their one loss being versus the Texans at home on Sunday Night Football. I think overall the Texans, in my opinion, have enough to be able to steal a win there, because I think that game is going to come down to, I think both defenses cancel each other out because they're both top of the line defenses, in my opinion. And then when it comes down to it, offensive talent wise, I think Houston is much better. Andy Reid's offensive mind may play a major factor in that, but I like Houston enough to be able to give them the victory there in prime time. However, they're just going to roll off 4 straight victories to end the season to finish 12-5.
15-2, going 5-0 at the end.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was hard for me to just like come to that realization of how many games I'd already given them in the series that we've previously done. But as I was going through, like, I still follow up on it. I think that Houston will be close. I think that the Chargers will be close. I think that Denver in Kansas City is going to be a close one. But I just think that whenever it comes down to like close games, that's whenever the refs come into play, if we're being honest, and whenever Pat Mahomes' is like true superpower is unlocked on being the most popular player in the NFL. So
That's
like,
a good take, Chris. I like that. 3-2. I'll give them 3-2. Losing to the Chargers in Denver. I think they get them on the back half. I don't think the Chiefs sweep those two in their division.
you think that they lose the 2 in Arrowhead though?
Yes. I don't think it matters with these teams or coaches.
Arrowhead
like
though. Arrowhead
Towards the end of the year like that, like
I think towards the end of the year is
brutal.
what helps them. It's teams like the Chiefs and the Cowboys and the Ravens and the Bills that lose these games at the end of the year.
See, the other ones that you named besides the Ravens, I think the Bills and the Cowboys definitely will lose a couple. Though the Bills recently, not much. Like, they finished strong. I think the Chiefs are the team that finishes strong.
It's gonna be interesting now that the teams like have to win to get like that seeding and everything.
No, they didn't change it.
Oh.
They didn't do it.
Yeah, they tabled it.
I was pissed.
It's
whenever I heard
stupid,
that.
but I think it was more of like, which that's kind of typical. Like, teams will throw out ideas like that and not necessarily vote on it immediately because they want to give everybody time to chew on it. Now, you watch, a couple teams will end up getting screwed out of playoff positioning this year, and they're going to want to pass it.
Yep.
So I do think that rule will come down within the next few seasons, and I think it'll be better for the league overall. So, like I said,
What's your
I've got them
record,
12-5. You got them 15-2.
10-7.
10-7. Austin's not very high on the Chiefs. However, the way they looked last year offensively, and how many games they got lucky and barely squeaking out victories, 10-7 is absolutely within the realm of possibility.
Easily.
So, yeah, I'm not going to hate on that too much. Chiefs fans, let us know in the comments how stupid we are. If we absolutely nailed it, what you would change, what your predictions are. We love the feedback down below. If you hit that subscribe button, help us to get 500 and more. Every 500 subscribers, we're giving away jerseys out here. We got videos dropping for you guys weekly. We appreciate all the support, all the love. TulsiRoseTea.com is the sponsor. Peace out.
This is Patrick Mahomes.